Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick first impressions video for you. I've got a little bit of help from...
Hey guys, it's Joel.
So Joel and I are just going to give you a quick rundown on this Falkniven F1. I guess it's Falkniven F1x. If I'm saying that wrong, I don't know. Correct me in the comments if you feel like it. Otherwise, I think you guys will know what I'm talking about. So, I've been aware of Falkniven for a long time, but just haven't really pulled the trigger on one. But honestly, this X series has been pretty compelling to me. So I thought I would pick up the one in the size that I like the best. You guys know I tend to like smaller, almost EDC-able fixed blades. And then, you know, I'll pair this with a knife and a folding saw and stuff like that. Rather than carry one giant knife to try to do everything, I like this option a little bit better. So I went with the F1. And I've got to say, initial thoughts are pretty good. This is a cool knife, guys. So let me just give you a quick rundown on some of the things that this does. First of all, we've got a satin grind here, which you guys know I love. Satin grind, convex grind. All right. Now, let me see if I can get this to focus. There you go. Now, look at one of the really cool things about this. This has a laminated cobalt steel. So the outside of the blade here is going to be stainless, and then just at the edge there is going to be sort of the harder cutting steel, which is really a cool thing to do. This is not the only knife that's ever done this, but the performance on this has, by all accounts, been very good. And I have looked into what some other reviewers have said about it. Another pretty interesting feature, Joel, what would you say about the blade stock here?
I would say it's really thick. I would say it's really thick. I actually think it's thicker than all your other knives.
Yeah, and that pretty much, I mean, it may not be thicker than all my other knives, but certainly it's thicker than anything I have in this size category. So very thick, very heavy duty knife, full tang, of course. You can see the pommel is exposed there, so if you want to use it for any kind of, you know, impact device, it works pretty well that way.
And there's also a little bonus on the back there. You might not be able to see it, but if you can, right there, there's a little hole, so you can stick some rope through there.
Yeah, so it's set up for a lanyard, which could be a good option. Now, this is a really heavy knife, so maybe you just need the lanyard to hang on to it. Another cool thing, I'm going to let Joel demonstrate the sheath for you. Try and keep it in frame, buddy, but this is really cool. So this sheath has a feature that I have not seen on a lot of knives.
So it's the sheath. It has a clip, but you get the knife and you can put it in. And if you have the clip up, it makes it so you can take it out really easy. But then if you put it all the way over this way, it locks it in and you can't get it out. And I think that would be for like if you were going like biking or rock climbing or something activity that you might think it might fall out of.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's for. And I'm pretty sure I remember reading something in the marketing about this that, you know, that was the idea behind that lockable sheath. So pretty cool feature. Let me give you a quick rundown on size and weight, and then I'll give you initial impression and let Joel give you his initial impression, and we'll be done. I guess I should point out this is sort of a high density rubber here. Fairly heavily textured. Joel says it feels like sandpaper.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not completely wrong. This is a very heavily textured knife. So I just wanted to touch on that very quickly before I give you the specs. So size on this guy is 8 5/8 inches. That's 4-inch blade and 4 5/8 on the handle. The grip area here is actually a little over 4 inches, so you could be a pretty big guy and you're not going to have any problems with this. Now, I did say this is a hefty little knife, and it is. 7.7 ounces is what this guy weighs in at. All right, and excuse me, guys, if you add the sheath to that, it's going to go up to about 9 ounces. I guess we should also point out, I do appreciate that this sheath has various attachment options. So, you know, you've got the strap here for your belt. You can, you know, weave a belt through. You could use molly webbing, lots of different options that you could do to get this hanging off you. Now that we've got it back in the sheath, I'll just give you my initial thoughts. So definitely a compact but very, very heavy duty cutting tool. The convex grind on this is something I really, really like. I'm not going to get into it here, but in the full review, I'll talk a little bit more about the functionality of a convex grind and why I like it. But for now, just know that I like convex grinds, and if you want more on that, I've done a few videos. You'll see them on bark rivers and stuff like that. So convex grinds are not unheard of. I do quite appreciate them. Looking forward to getting some time with this. I could see this working really well as like a backpacking knife, a camping knife. For me, in my use, I like to pair a smaller knife like this with a hatchet or an axe and a folding saw, so that kind of does, you know, that gets all of my cutting tools out of the way. I don't normally go in for trying to do that one tool option where I'm going to have one big knife that's going to slice and chop and do everything else that I need to do. I'd rather go for something a little smaller, a little easier to carry, and combine this with something bigger for those harder tasks. Okay, so there you go. Those are my initial thoughts. Joel, what are your first impressions on the knife?
I don't have much to say because you said a lot, but all in all, I like the look of it. I don't really like the feel of the handle. It's kind of sharp for me, and the sheath is really cool. I really like the knife in total. I would recommend buying it.
Okay, there you go. So Joel says it's a cool knife. He likes it, although he's not crazy about the handle. All right, guys, there you go. Those are our thoughts on the Falkniven F1x. And I will get back to you at some point in the not too distant future with a full review and some cutting demonstrations and all that kind of stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.